Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'd like to talk about what can happen if you entrust the renovation of your home to the wrong people. If you are new to this channel, I welcome you. I am Virginie, interior designer, and I deal with houses that represent 100% who has to live them, from consultancy to the entire renovation process. I also help foreigners who want to buy and renovate in Italy to support them all the process long. Difficult otherwise to follow from a distance. In these channels, I will talk about home and renovation, trying to give you helpful tips so that you can have your dream house, a house that represents you genuinely and where you'll always feel at your ease. Before we get started, if you love everything related to the topic of home and renovation, remember to subscribe to my channel for more information on this subject. It's happened again. Some customers have relied on the wrong people, they have not done a detailed project, and now they have problems. It really makes me angry when I hear these things, but unfortunately, these things happen not so rarely as you might think. I met a couple of foreigners who have recently finished renovating a beautiful farmhouse. They called me for a furniture consultation. As we went on with furnishing, obviously, small flaws emerged, like the absence of sockets where we need it. Disruption that, however, we managed to fix, calling again the electrician, who placed some other sockets, obviously with an extra cost. We had some problems also to study a functional kitchen, because we had to do it accordingly to the connection already present. So we were forced to put the cooktop and the sink where the connections were present and the rest accordingly. All's well that ends well. We have furnished the house, which is absolutely pleasant and functional. But, oh yes, there is a but, otherwise I wouldn't not be here. Leaving the house, the owners realized two things that are not good. One is simple and easily solvable, that is the calcareous water. I called it a specialized company and they will come and install a water softener device soon. But of course, there is a flaw for not having thought of it before. That is about the cramped space where to put the softener device. Obviously, think about it before, it could perhaps have been studied better. Not for the space that we couldn't change, but certainly for what to put and how to place it. Anyway, it's a small service room, so we make it go well. What really leaves speechless is the heating and domestic hot water system. Customers wanted underfloor heating and, except in 3 rooms where there was not enough thickness, this was laid. So far, so good. At work started, the client asked if it would be possible to use a heat pump to heat the house and water. This to have an energy saving, avoiding to use gas for such a big house. I won't explain what a heat pump is because now it's not the focus. The constructor made an estimate and, once accepted, they installed the whole system. They explained to us that the system would work in this way. The first source of energy would come from 2 solar panels. Then, when there is not enough sun, the heat pump starts, and if this is not enough, only then the boiler should start. Said like this, it seems a really great system. Except that when customers came to Italy, they had a bitter surprise. They couldn't get enough hot water, even if there is a tank for accumulation of hot water, and the heating didn't work. And unfortunately, in that period, it was rather cold. We called the plumber, who checked everything, raised the temperature, made some changes, and the heating seems to start. But at that point, the hot water, which was already low, was just not there anymore. In those days, there was a bustle of technicians, plumber, surveyor, electrician, and the engineer who had designed the system. The conclusion was that the heat pump could not be connected to sanitary water storage tank. First of all, because it could never take it to 65 degrees required to have then a stable temperature from the taps. But also because being busy trying to heat the water in the tank, it wouldn't be able to start the heating. Sanitary water take precedence. Then they disconnected the heat pump from the storage tank and it is used only for heating. The water will be heated only by the boiler. The gas bills came to customers and, objectively, they were pretty high. So they then asked for specification of the system installed to know what his annual savings would be. The answer he got was, "Give us a few days to make the calculation and we'll let you know." The customer was stunned and me too. The calculation shouldn't be done before. No, they did not do any calculation before to know if the system was worth or not being put. They made a vague estimate based on his not known what and installed a system that doesn't do the thing for which it was asked. In other words, when the customer asked for the particular system, they didn't bother to make accurate calculation. No, they made a quote and they took the money. Why is this? First of all, because there was not a detailed project before. Secondly, because they have also ended up in the hands of people that at least are mediocre, who have thought only of their own advantage and surely not give a real customer service. Now, if the surveyor had made a long meeting with the client asking about his wishes and needs, he surely could have studied a really functional system, and he should have done it before start work. In short, the customer should have been advised on the best solution for the type of home and his real needs. Then obviously, having chosen the wrong people did not help, because an honest enterprise, even after work started, would do the proper calculation and advise the customer for the best. I've already said it once, but I would like to underline it. Use the detailed project in your favor. That is, when you think you have found the right surveyor or architect, ask if he is viable, or better, if it's already his habits, to do this kind of work. Otherwise, look for another one. The risk, otherwise, is to end up like these customers and pay for something that does not fulfill the task for which it was installed. Do you like this video? Let me know it with a like or a comment, and if you haven't done yet, subscribe to my channel, also turning on the notification bell to not miss the upcoming content. See you soon. Bye.